Hello Stampin' friends, this is Trina Brower here today with a video of my Happy Mother's Day card. I am going to be using from the mini catalog, the one that goes from January to June of this year, the Well Suited bundle. And this kind of shows you some of the things that we'll be using today. I won't, of course, be using the Handsomely Suited stamp set, but I will be using the dies today because we're going to do the feminine version of this stamp bundle. This also has carried over, this Handsomely Suited and the dies with it, carried over into our new catalog that's good through April of 2022. All right, let's get started. First of all, I have a card base here, 8.5 by 5.5, and I have already scored that, and this is Blushing Bride. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Oh, let me show you the card we're going to make. I guess I should do that. This is the card we're going to make, my Mother's Day card. Happy Mother's Day. So I think you can see that, how it kind of shines a little bit too. I'll put this up over here so you can see it. The other thing that we will be making today is, we'll be using rather, the Love You Always Designer Series paper. And let me show you this paper because it's absolutely gorgeous. It is Blushing Bride, Sahara Sand, and then the Rococo Rose, which is the color I'll be using today. Rococo Rose in the cardstock is going away because it was a designer, or it was a in color from a couple of years ago. But I would definitely wanted to use it for this card. So let's get started. We'll kind of leave this here so you can see my card. First of all, I started off with a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock, and I had it cut at 5.5 by 4.25. And then I took my die and I cut out this section of it. Let me just kind of lay this open here so you can see a little better. And I didn't measure it, I just kind of eyeballed it. And this was, of course, before I embossed it. So I just kind of cut it out here and moved it up just a little. There we go. Once I cut out that thing using my die cutting machine, then I went ahead and just found an embossing folder that I liked, and I embossed it. Okay, the next step was for me to go ahead and do the lapels. So I took my die here and just cut it out of the Rococo Rose cardstock too. The other thing that we're going to do is I was going to take a piece of this Love You Always Designer Series paper, and I'm using the Rococo Rose again, and this should be cut at 3 by 5.25. This was a scrap, so mine is off a little bit as far as that goes, but I can still use it. So let me put a little bit of glue on here so we can see what we're doing. And yes, I do use a shot glass to keep my glue in. Works really great. So just wanted to let you know that's what that is. So I'm just going to put a little of my liquid glue right down here. I like to use this on anything that's embossed because I think it gives it a better grip. And we're just going to kind of line this up just a little bit on the back here, so I can get it on there kind of straight. Let's see what I look like on the front. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay. Let me get my silicone pad. Anytime I'm using my glue, I like to have my silicone pad out so that I don't get glue everywhere that I can't get off. All right, let's try and go ahead and add this next, my lapel. Once again, I'm going to use the liquid glue. Just do a few dots down here. Ooh, that's kind of big. And some more up here. There we go. Let me get my tweezers here and pick it up. Makes it a lot easier. And the other thing with using like liquid glue on this is it also gives me a chance to kind of move it around exactly where I want it. And that doesn't doesn't just automatically go down and then I gotta pry it up because I don't like where it is. Okay, so here we have the first part of our card right there. Now I'm going to show you what I did with the little scalloped edge that you can see here on my card. Really simple. I took and punched with one of my old 1 1/4 inch scallop punches. I took and I just punched out a little bit. Now I have since I've already done one, I have a little bit of a template to go by. So I'm just going to take and just kind of add this a little bit to my card here. This will give me a good idea of where I want to do my cut on this one. Kind of put it a little bit in the middle here. Sorry for my fingers always being in the way. Well, that's about right. So now I can take my punch and I have a good idea where I need to be. Oh, about right there, looks about right. Yeah. Now I have my scallop at the top of my card. Oh, there we go. All right, we're ready for a few more steps here. Now to do my pearls, there's nothing scientific about how I'm going to do this whatsoever. What I did was I took another of my double scallop punch here. Let's see, there you go. And I just punched out a scallop here on just some scrap paper. Then I took my pearls and took off one of my larger pearls because I wanted to decide where I want my necklace to begin and end. So we're just kind of going to lay this down here so I kind of have an idea. In fact, I can go ahead and just put this right on my card base. Once again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And just put this down. That seems to be lined up pretty well. Give it a good push. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take one of my pearls here. I'm going to take one of the larger ones. And I'm going to decide about right where I want the end of my necklace to be. And I'm going to say it's going to be about right about here. So I'm going to put that down. Now, my very unscientific method for figuring out how to do the rest of my necklace, I just kind of laid this down and I just wanted an idea of, so I don't go so crooked when I'm making my necklace. So I just kind of took my pencil and just kind of barely outlined where I want it to be. So I'm not too crooked with my things. And I can always erase anything that if I don't get it quite right. This one's off just a little. So I'll be kind of keeping an eye on that. For some reason I'm off. So let's see here. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, really not bad. Okay. All right, then I just start putting on my little jewels. So let's get started here. I always push them down first on the card so that I make sure the glue stays onto the little pearl. And let's just get started here. Let's move this one right about here. That looks pretty good. And now I'm afraid you're just going to have to watch me do the boring thing, which is making my necklace. And I'm doing it one side at a time, so I try not to get too lopsided as I'm making this. So I kind of can even them up a little bit as I'm going along. This one's off just a little bit. There we go. My necklace is not quite even, but we're getting there. Anyways, necklaces are never perfect. This one's off just a little bit. I'm going to move just a little bit. There we go. You might want to fast forward through this process since it's fairly boring. But I wanted you to get the idea of how I built this necklace. And I'm getting little things stuck to me all over. I think I'll put one more up there. And one more, oops, right here. Come back here. There we go. We've got our necklace. Now just a few other things to add. Let me move these out of the way. I have also taken this die and made the little pocket thing right there. Then also took what is normally the top of the knot on the tie for the man, and I've just cut out another little square here, and I'm going to glue these two pieces together also. About right there, that looks pretty good. And a little bit more glue. Glue it down onto the jacket. And I'm going to put that about right here. That looks pretty good. And this was just another piece of the designer series paper that I just cut out with the die real quick. Right. And then, of course, I stamped Happy Mother's Day from one of my old retired sets. And there's gobs of Mother Day's sayings and cards. So, and I just used my double oval punch to punch it out, and I'm going to place it right here. And there we have my Mother's Day card. If you like it. Let me just show the insides. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Being that my mom is 89 and my mother-in-law is 93, I usually end up typing something on the computer for the inside sentiment because they need something they can read because neither one of their eyesights are great anymore. So what I did for the inside of their card is I typed my message in here, which was, a mother's love is like a circle. It has no beginning and no ending. Happy Mother's Day. And then I also took one of my punches and cut out a few hearts from that same designer series paper. So that's how the inside of my card looks. These are my 2 Mother's Day cards. I hope you enjoy my video, and thanks for watching. If you ever need to get hold of me, it's trenabrower@gmail.com or trenabrower.wordpress.com and also trenabrower.stampinup.net. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.